Hello everyone and welcome to the Divi Feature Update Live. Today I have another exciting update for Divi. But before we get started, please let me know if you can hear me loud and clear so that we get off to a very good start. So please let me know in the comments box below. And today we are live streaming both on Facebook and also on YouTube. And I can already see here that quite a lot of you are already tuning in. This is fantastic. We have George Agante from Berlin. Awesome. Good to see you, Uncle Social. Good to see you too. Mr. Intellectual. Wow, cool name. Awesome. Let me just take a look here at Facebook and make sure everything is working okay on Facebook. Okay, I can see we're streaming live on Facebook, but no one has commented yet. Okay, so today we are talking about the Divi position options. Now this feature is really good, especially for people like me who type very slow and are not really a fan of using CSS. So this will pretty much resolve our issues when it comes to positioning, because now we don't have to really rely on CSS to position all our elements on the screen, because now we can do it with this brand new feature called Divi Position Options. Right, so George is from Cyprus. Awesome, right. I think this is the first time we've actually had someone from Cyprus. Really cool. Karam, good to see you as well. All right, so let's get started. Let me show you how we can use this brand new feature. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start off by just working on a pre-made layout. That way I don't have to do a lot of work designing, because really on this show I want to show you how to use these features rather than go through the whole design process. And if you also have any questions, please leave your questions in the comments box below. All right, so let's take a look at this now. So right now, as you can see, this is a layout that I just pulled out from our pre-made layouts. So if I scroll here, you can see pretty much we have all the elements that we need. I haven't done much to it. Now, if you want to get these Divi position options, you need to make sure you update to the latest Divi. So to do that, you just need to go into your dashboard and click on update, and that should refresh and give you the latest update for Divi. So this is the update that will have all these features that we're going to be talking about today. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to head over here straight to my layout. So in order for you to see these position options, and in fact, you know what? When I watched Nick's video, I could not even find out. I could not find where these Divi positions were. So let me show you how to find them. So these position options can be found on headers, headers. They can be found on sections, rows, and modules. Okay. So let me just show you where they are. So let me start off with the sections here. So if I come over here to the gear icon to my settings, to get these position options, you need to come all the way here to advanced. Click on position, and this is where they are. So you can see here we have relative. If you click on this drop down, you have default, relative, absolute, and fixed. Now, for those of you who are familiar with CSS, you know exactly what all these are. But just to give you a quick description, fixed and absolute can be used freely without disrupting elements around them. So that's what fixed positioning does. And absolute positioning do not remain fixed when scrolling. So absolute position can be put here, but it won't be fixed when scrolling. So pretty much it goes with how you'll be scrolling on the page. All right, so this is where they are. You can choose, let's say, absolute. And now this will give you all your positionings. So you can see here, we have all these positions that you can use as your anchor points. Okay. If I come over here to fixed, same thing. You can be fixed here. And you can choose where to fix this. So you can see all these different positions here. Now we also have vertical offset and horizontal offset. Now this is very important because you can go in and do some tweaks here to make sure everything is positioned the way you want it. So again, this is an additional feature that we didn't have before. So back over here, I'm just going to put this back default. Okay. and save. Now, I want to show you one practical use of these Divi positions, but this time I'm going to be using the theme builder. So I'm sure some of you have designed some headers on your Divi website, and you wanted it to stay on the top while you scroll, right? So basically, this is making it fixed. So to do that, we would have to use some CSS code. So I want to show you now how to use this feature to have our header fixed. So let me show you how. All right, so I'm going to switch over here now. In fact, let me just save this page. Hopefully this is on my home page. I think it is. Okay, let's save this page. So I'm going to go now into my dashboard. We're going to come all the way down here to our theme builder. So I'm going to click on theme builder. So you can see here I have a basic header. In fact, let me just show you what it looks like. So here we go. So this is our header. It's the basic header. If I scroll, you can see it's not fixed. It's just disappearing away in the top there. So that's not what we want. We want this header to be fixed. So that's what we're going to do now with our Divi position options. Now, before I go into this, for those of you that are just joining us, this is the Divi Feature Update Live. This is a show where we talk about the latest features, go through how these features work, and take some Q&As and show you how to use these creatively on your designs. All right. And also, before I forget, we are going to be this is going to be on our Facebook and YouTube, so you can always watch this at a later stage. So if you missed this, you can just go back and watch it again. All right. So over here now, I'm in my theme builder. So in the theme builder here, I'm just going to click here on this pencil icon, and then I can now go in and edit this. So this is actually really cool because we can actually use this feature in the theme builder as well. So you can imagine how what you can do with this. You can have opt-in forms. You can have so much in with these position options in our theme builder as well. All right, so here is our header. So to make it fixed, all I have to do is to come over here, click on my section settings, advanced, position, and then I'm going to go and select fixed. And we want this fixed to the top. Save this. Save the page. And now I am going to exit out of here and pretty much just save all changes. Now, if I come to my main page here, I want to refresh this. So now let's see if this is now fixed. So I'm going to start scrolling now. So now just by a few clicks, you can see now my header is now fixed. How cool is that? So this is how you can use these position options to make your headers fixed. So no more CSS. All you have to do is to go into this main feature, make sure your header is fixed, and boom, done. Okay? Right. I'm just taking a look here and making sure that we have any questions. So far, no questions. Interesting. Right. Oh, we also have a few people joining us here on Facebook as well. We have Terry, Pradeep, Casey. We also have Ivo from Bulgaria, Alvin from the Philippines. Awesome. Andrea also from Florence, Italy. Excellent, excellent. So any questions so far on what I've done with the position options on the header? Please let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so let's switch back over here and right, Dwayne says Uncle Social, you're funny. Uncle Social says this barbershop isn't going to get much business from Awesome, right. Dwayne says, I have a question. Right, what's the question here from Dwayne? Right, I haven't seen the question yet. Anyway, so Uncle Social says here will be a good use for this to be a fixed footer on mobile. Yes, absolutely. So you can be very, very creative with this feature. It's really, really awesome. All right, so let's go ahead now and let me show you other things that you can also do here with this feature. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I am going to go in and work, say, for example, on a banner. So let's head over here, enable builder. Right, so let's just build a banner quickly here. So I'm just going to come over here, regular section. Okay, so let's add a text module. So I'm just going to do this, really fast. And let's say this is a banner. Okay, so let's say this is our banner ad. In fact, you know what? We might as well add in a call to action here as well. So we can add a button in here if we need to. Let's go ahead and choose our button. And we are going to align this to the left. Okay, great. So let's say this is our banner and we need to show this on our website. So if we drag this up here to the top, okay, there we go. So we have our banner up there. So you can see here as I'm scrolling, it's disappearing right there at the top. So if we want our banner ad to stay up there, in fact, you know what? Let me make this look a bit realistic by just going in. All right, I just need to go into my wireframe mode here. Right, so let's say 20% discount here. Okay, 20% discount if you sign up. That's going to be our message right there. So let's save that. And let's switch back over here. In fact, let me go into my section settings here. And let's switch to the front-end editor. Now, I'm going to give this a color. Or maybe we should just leave it like that. Okay, so let's say now you want this to stay at the top. So when people come to your website, they can see this banner. This is a one-off thing. Okay, so come over here to advanced. Position, and again we can use fixed, and then this is going to be fixed at the top. Okay, I think I've done something wrong here. Let's have a look. Okay, so let's go to position. Okay, so there it is. It's fixed here on the top, but the problem is I just need to go into the header and give this some padding below so that this shows correctly. But basically, once you have your banner up there and you start scrolling, that should be fixed in that position. But you know what? I have to do a bit more tinkering around with this header to make sure this shows here on the bottom. But pretty much that's how you do it. So let me show you something here quickly that you can also do. In fact, you know what? Let me go ahead and delete that. It's not making our layout look great. So let's get rid of it. Okay, so let's say you want to reposition items on your page. Let me just show you quickly how you can do that. Now, when I first started using this, it was a bit confusing because I could not see the draggable handles over here. So for those to show, let's go into a module here, our image module here. Now, if I come over here to advanced, click on position, I can now go to my positioning, and you can see here, I have my offset origin. So I can actually go in and start moving this. So you can see here, I've just moved this -54. I can move this to the left as well. Now, here's the thing. Once you've done this, right? So once you've activated this on this image, if I close it, you notice now when I put my mouse over here, we have these draggable handles here. So now I can move it into position like that. But you have to first go in and activate the positions. So you can see now I can drag this around. Now, if I do the same over here, if I just mouse over this area here, you notice that that handle is not there. Now let me do it one more time. So if I go back here into my image, click advanced, position, and so I go to relative. And let's say I just move this up here just a little bit. Okay, if I save that, now it now has a handle. Pretty cool. So now I can move this and create a collage. You can see here. So I can be precise with this. Now, the really cool thing about this as well is I can actually go in and also adjust my position in the different mobile views. So I want to go back over here to module settings, advanced, position. Now notice when I come over here now on my vertical offset, I can go in and here on the desktop it's -50. And if I go to tablet, it's going to come back over here to my images. Here we are. So it's this image here that I'm working on. So you can see here, I can really customize this. So I can maybe bring it down a little bit and make sure it's not covering the top image. And then I can also do the same on the phone. And then on the phone here, you can see it is in position. So I can pretty much go in and make further adjustments and make sure that the positioning looks really, really cool on all devices. Now let's do this one more time on this image here. So again, if I click here on my gear icon, come over here to advanced, position. And this time I want to work on my horizontal offset. So if I click here, go onto tablet, just need to make sure I'm working on the right item. So here we go. So let's say I want to cover that gap over here to the right. So I can just drag it like that. If I now need to move it over here vertically, I can also come in here and position this. So you can see how precise I can go in and really make my layouts work for me. So again, on the tablet here, if I'm not happy with the way it's looking here, I can just play around here with my positioning, and maybe I would like this to be, to cover pretty much everything. Just add 0 here. And for the vertical, I can also adjust that. Set this to 0. So pretty much this is how you can play around with these different screen sizes. Okay, so there we go. So you can create all these different collages, but the main thing is if you try to come here onto an image and hope to see these draggable corners here, you won't be able to see it until you actually go in and start playing around with it. Okay, so let's take a look here. All right, I'm just taking a look at the questions here. Flying people, I haven't really looked at the gallery module, but it's something that we can take a look now and see if we can play around with this in the gallery module. Okay, so what I'm going to do, in fact, you know what? Let me just take a look here at Facebook and see if we have any questions. Edward says, can I select multiple images to go on the advanced mode, to go to the advanced mode? I don't think you can select multiple images. Let me have a look. So No, I don't think multiple images work. You have to do them one by one. So I don't think multiple images work. Okay, now, why don't we do another example here? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to work with this contact form. So I want this form to be fixed over here to the bottom. So when people scroll on the page, this message here is going to be, pretty much, available every time they scroll. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and give this a background. So let's just give this okay, let's see what background we can use here. Okay, let's go with this. So I'm not going to highly customize this because we don't want this to be more of a design thing, but rather show you all these features. Okay, let's give this some padding. There we go. All right, so we got some padding here. And I also think what we can do here is to okay, there we go. So now let's go in and make a few adjustments here on the form because we can't really see the forms here. So let's go to the fields. Right, so let's just go to the borders now. Okay, so here is our border. Okay, there we go. So now we have our form. So let's say we want this form to be fixed on the bottom there. So I'm going to click here on my gear icon, go to advanced position. So here I'm going to have it fixed, but I want to have it fixed bottom left. So now you can see when I scroll, it is now fixed on the bottom. Now there is something happening here and I'm sure you can see it. Now, as I'm scrolling, you notice that this item here is on top of my image. So this can be obviously a problem because it is covering our form. So you can see all these elements here are covering our form as I'm scrolling through this. And this is not really, really good. So what we can do with this is we can actually adjust this and use our Z index. Now our Z index is important because it allows us to prioritize what item is on the top as people are taking a look at your website. So think about it as layers. So your Z index is, so the higher the number you add on there, it's going to be the uppermost top item on the page. So let's work with that. So right now, you can see my Z index here is set to 0. Okay. So notice what happens when I scroll. Okay. In fact, let's choose this black item here or this very dark item here above our contact form. So what I can actually do here is I can drag this Z index all the way up. Okay. So let's see. That's strange. This is not working. I think I've done something wrong here. Okay, the offset is working. Okay, let me just double check one thing here. Okay, so I think I need to go into my wireframe mode. Right. This is strange that my Z index is not working. I'm not sure if it's to do with, let's have a look here. Maybe I need to have it in its own section. Let's see how that works. Drag this over here. Okay. Right. So what I've done here is I've just added this in its own section because before it was within another section. So that's why my Z index wasn't working. So as you can see here, it is above. So if I go back over here now to the advanced tab, position, and here now my Z index will, pretty much work. But you can see as I'm dragging this, if I go to, let's say, a minus, it pretty much goes behind all these other items that are on this page. So let's say we set it to about 63. In fact, this is going to be, pretty much above everything. So here's another thing I need to show you. So as you can see here, we can also play around with the vertical and horizontal offset. So let's say you want to move it away from the edge a little bit. So you can just drag this a little bit like that. And you can see here it's moving. So let's say I want to position it just like that. And then on the vertical offset as well, I can just drag this and maybe I want to have it slightly above, just like that. I can just leave it there. And also, as you can see, this form is way too big. Of course, it's going to be covering quite a lot of information here. What we can also do is to go into this form and play around with the sizing. So over here, we can, adjust the form size. So you can see here, I can make it smaller, or we can go into the actual row settings and set our sizing over here and adjust our width. So now you can see our form is nice and small. So you can further go in and customize, the height and the padding within this these fields. So you can make it nice and small there, like that. And as I mentioned before, you can actually position this wherever you want. So as you can see now, as I am scrolling here, it is actually positioned right there. So one other use case you can actually do with this is you could actually have your social media icons floating over here on the edge as people are, using their website. So you can see here quickly, I was able to go in and make it fixed. But the positioning, you just have to make sure that when you use your Z index, it is pretty much on the uppermost so that this is not covered by any item there. Okay, so let me just take a look here and see if we have any questions. Robin says, I think you ran into a bug. Yes, it's possible that it could be a bug that caused this not to show, because that's actually weird. When I was playing around with it before, it was working okay. Okay, says how we use it in the in header. I think I've demonstrated that, how to use that in the header. In fact, you know what? Let me just show you quickly what else you can do here with these headers in terms of the positioning. So I'm going to go back over here to my dashboard, go into Divi, theme builder. So let's say you want to have this header all the way at the bottom. So you can just go to advanced, position, and you can have this, all the way at the bottom here. Don't know why you'd want to do that, but let's see if that works. Okay, let's close this and open in a new tab. So there you go. So you can see now our header is now fixed over here at the bottom. But of course, that's not the way you want to have your header on your website. But I'm just demonstrating the fact that you can have this fixed pretty much anywhere you want. Right. There is also one more item I need to show you here. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to go and take this back to the top, fix to the top, save that. Now everything is back to normal. Okay, so if you're just joining us, this is the Divi Feature Update Live, a show where we cover the latest Divi features, go into detail, do some experimentation, and show you how you can creatively use this in your own designs. And also, this is Q&A, it's live, so if you have any questions, you can ask your questions in the comments box below, and I'll do my best to respond to them. But of course, I don't know everything, so I'll just do my best. Okay, is it possible to put the menu on the side? Yes, I think it's possible. So let's try and do that. Okay, that's a challenge. I haven't done this before, but you know, sometimes when I'm on this live stream, I like doing things that I haven't done before. Okay, so let's try and create a menu and have it on the side. So I'm just trying to think here, how can I have it? Okay, let's add a new, let's enable the visual builder here. Okay, so let's add a brand new section. Let's come over here. Okay, single column. Let's add our menu here. So if we wanted to have this menu over to the side, let's see if we can position this. Okay, so there we go on the top. You can see it there. It's now fixed. Let's put it in the middle. So now that we have it like that, we can go in and adjust. Let's play around with the sizing here. Right, so let's say this is our menu. So now you can see when I scroll, it stays in place. But of course, because of the Z index, we may need to go in and fix that. And this time, I hope it works. Let's go to our position here. And our Z index, I'm just going to bump this all the way up. Let's have a look now. Yep, now it's right on the top. That's great. So let's add a color to this so we can actually see what is happening. Okay, so I'm just going to add a bright color here. And let's remove the background here. Save that. Right, so if I save this page, exit the visual builder. Okay, so we can pretend that that's our menu. So now if I scroll, you can see my menu is stuck there on the left. Pretty cool. So yes, there's a lot of creative things that you can actually do with the this latest feature, the Divi position options. I can also see myself using this for pretty much, you know, social media icons on the left. I mean, that's one way I could actually use that. And I think it's Uncle Social that also suggested that you can have fixed footers, you know, on mobile devices. That's another way you can also use this. Banners, you know, banner ads, you know, there's so much you can do with this. And the most important one is, and this is what we've been getting a lot of questions before, is having the header fixed. Now we don't have to paste some CSS code and all of that. We can just use the Divi position options to make sure that our header is fixed on the top. ID says, how does the menu display on mobile? Now on mobile, you would need to go in and pretty much adjust this on all devices. Just like any module that you work on, you want to make sure that you're actually clicking the three views and adjusting and making sure that everything looks okay on the three on the three devices. So let's just take a quick look here and see what this looks like. So I'm just going to go back in here. So let's say I switch. Okay, so now you can see it has that hamburger icon. So that's what it looks like. There we go. So even if I scroll, it still stays there. But you may want to give it a heading there to say this is a menu. But that's how it looks like. But how I would actually do this as well is you can see here we have this this contact form. I would actually disable this on the tablet or smartphone, because as you can see, it doesn't really look nice here. Or I can just adjust it and make sure that it's not actually on the side here. But if you want to disable that, you can just come over here to the advanced visibility and then just make sure that it's disabled on the tablet and the phone. So now when people go to your website, they will not see this in that mode. Same applies here to the menu. If you want to get rid of the menu here on mobile devices, you can just go ahead and disable this menu on these on the mobile devices, just in case you don't like this. So this could actually show just on desktops, but when it comes to mobile devices, you can just change it and it won't show this way. Okay, let's take a look here. Rogers says, can you make it pop out on click? I think you'll need to use on click. I'm not sure you can do that, but on hover effects, you can make it, expand on hover effects, but on click, no, I don't think you can do that on click. Let's take a look here. Alvin says, is that Divi 4.0? Yes, this is Divi 4.0, but I think we're on 4.2 now. Yeah, I think we're on Divi 4.2. Let's take a look here. Right, Jehad says, is it not reasonable to work with percentage instead of pixels? Yes, you can actually work on percentage. It works better that way. But of course, as a designer, you can choose when to, you can decide when to use percentages, REM, and VH, and so on. But yes, it's reasonable to use percentage. I've seen that, actually working better because it just resizes itself much better on different devices. Okay, let's have a look here. I think I've covered quite a lot of things. Oh yeah, there's one more thing I want to show you here, and I found it quite interesting. So let's say I head over here to this image. Right, so let's say I go into this image here, and I want to make this fixed to the top. So I want you to notice what happens. Right now, the size is pretty much okay. This is a good size. But when I come over here to position and I choose, let's say, fixed, you notice that this image just gets so massive. Okay, and it's covering pretty much everything here on the top. So you can see here, that's the same image. It's fixed. So this pretty much takes over the whole entire screen. Okay, so that's how the fixed position actually works. It just goes ahead and covers pretty much everything. And if this was absolute, it just covers whatever it is in the container. So it's actually inside that particular container. And what's the other one? Relative. Now this is just your positioning. So you can choose your offset position here. So back over here on the fixed. Now you can see this image here is massive. So what we can do is we can come back over here to sizing and adjust its width. Oops, that's strange. Oh, there we go. So you can adjust its width here until you are happy with the size of this image. But that is what happens when you use fixed. So just bear that in mind. It was something that came as a shock when I was playing around with this. I was like, oh, wow, this is just pretty much taken over everything. What the hell is going on here? But yeah, you just have to play around here with the width, and this will pretty much, fix your issue. And now when you scroll, you can see there that it is fixed on the top there. But the really cool feature that I like here about the images is creating these collages. It's really, really cool. You can just move these around, and have these pretty much anywhere on your page. So this is really, really cool. So this just pretty much breaks away from the normal, when you use sections and rows, everything is pretty much in a straight line, and it's, kind of boring because that's how most websites are. But with this new feature now, the Divi position options, you can actually rearrange things and just position them wherever you are, creating amazing or unique layouts. So I think this is really, really cool, and I suggest that you try it out. But just remember, when you use this, you need to make sure you go into the mobile view and the tablet view to make sure everything is tweaked and everything is looking okay. All right, so before I go, let me know if you like this feature by adding ones. If you don't like it, please add some twos and let us know why you don't like it. So please go ahead and do that in the comments box. I'm curious to see if this is a feature that you like. Uncle Social says this update makes me nervous. There are now so many ways to make a website really ugly. You know what? I agree. If you're a designer and you don't know what you're doing, yes, this can really, really make things go crazy. But if you know your layout, your layout structures, and you know how to position things correctly, I think this gives us more power to create unique looking websites. Robin says, I think you should use this feature when your general layout is in place on some elements, not create your whole website this way. I absolutely agree. You shouldn't go crazy with positioning things and making collages everywhere, all over the place. To be honest, that will just make the website look messy. So just use it, with caution, but don't just go, crazy with it. Otherwise, the website is just going to look very, very messy. So I agree with that. I can see a lot of ones here. Okay, I can see a lot of ones here. Awesome. So awesome. Right, this is really cool. Get Piano Lesson says, if I understand correctly, you are currently making alterations to a pre-designed layout theme. Yes, that's correct. I am making all these alterations on a pre-made layout. Part of the question is, but if you want to design a website from scratch, would you need to use the Divi Builder theme? Yes, if you want to design the website from scratch, you just use the builder. In fact, let me show you quickly here so it is not confusing. So right now I used a pre-made layout as we just mentioned. So if I delete this and let's say I want to start building my website from scratch, I can now go in and let's say, for example, here, I need to add a full width header, for example. So this is how I would be designing this absolutely from scratch. So let's say I come over here to design, layout, I make it full screen. And let's say I can add my text in here. I can also add a background image. So you can see here, this is how I would actually build this, from scratch, just like that. So you can actually use pre-made layouts, or you can design this from scratch yourself. But of course, if you want to save time, you can just use pre-made layouts and then just change the font colors or font sizes, the fonts themselves, and also the images. All right, let's have a look here. Dwayne says, can I put a video in the full width header? You can add it. Yes, you can also put a video in the, no, hang on. In the full width header. You can add a video background, not a video in the full width header. No. In fact, let me just be sure. Let me just double check. No, you can't add a video in the full width header. No, you can't. Okay, but you can add a video background. Dwayne, yes, the video background is mainly used as a design element. You don't want to make it a video that people actually go in and watch, because it's going to take a lot of bandwidth on your site. Because remember, the video background is actually hosted on your website. So you have to upload that short clip and then add it as a video background. So you don't want to be, it won't be playing any video. I mean, it won't be playing any sound. And it's also advisable not to add a long video. It will make your website really, really slow. If you want to add a video in a section, you may want to just add a regular. So you can just go in and add a regular section, and then just add your video that way. So let's say, where is our video module here? Okay, there we go. That's our video module. So now if you want your video to pretty much cover the whole page, you just have to go in here now and play around with your sizing, change your gutter width, make this full width. This one here can be also 100%. And pretty much now you have a video that covers the whole section. And yeah, so that's how you would do it. So I know I'm digressing here, but pretty much that's how you would do it. Okay. Let's take a look here. I just want to see if there's any more questions. Badal says, can you make a video from scratch on how to add product filter on shop page? I think we'll be able to do this on other videos. In fact, we may have done this already, so I can give you some pointers to where you can actually find that tutorial. But this one here is mainly talking about our main Divi feature, Divi position options. All right, guys, I think this does it for our live stream today. Thank you very much for watching. And if you don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also the like button if you like this live stream. Please do it before you leave. And also for those of you that joined us late, please, you can go ahead and watch the replay of this live on our Facebook and also on our YouTube page. All right, so once again, thank you very much for tuning in. Really appreciate your time. If you still have any more questions, please leave your questions in the comments box below, and I'll do my best to respond to those questions. All right, guys, have a great week. Take care, and I will see you soon. Hopefully next week, we're going to have another Divi feature update live. I really like these lives, and hopefully we are going to have another live. All right, guys, take care, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.